www.boomradio.com.ng.
Oh, www.boomradio.com.ng. Wow, thank you so much.
You say,
I mean, I'm a yummy take you back from Babaya.
àwọn ọmọdé sọ̀rọ̀ sókè.
Sounds okay. Louder.
Ó ṣe ọmọ tó dààmú àṣọ yìí ká sọ̀rọ̀ sókè like this.
Stop it.
Sọ̀rọ̀ sókè jọ.
Louder.
Ó ṣe ilé fún.
Boom Radio NG. Louder.
It's Silas, the marvelous producer.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Boom Bar. My name is Shola Rogers.
My name is Ola Dolupo. It's a very interesting day. Welcome. We bid you a warm welcome to the bar. As usual, it is 3 p.m. Nigerian time, or more specifically, like what people call West African time. It is a lovely Thursday afternoon right here in the city of Lagos State, where we're broadcasting from. So it is the Boom Bar, where you can listen, you can watch, you can listen on boomradio.com.ng. You can also watch us right now on YouTube, was Boom Radio NG. It is also Boom Radio on Facebook. Just search for Boom Radio on Facebook, and you'll catch us right here live, where you could drop your comments, talk to us, let us know how you're doing this wonderful afternoon. And on that note, and for everybody joining us, and from everybody joining us for the very first time, again, we bid you a warm welcome. And today on the show, my name, yours truly, Ola Dolupo.
Okay, today your name is Ola Dolupo. Then tomorrow it will be something else. That's what you said. Okay, so today your name is Ola Dolupo.
We don't know what can happen tomorrow.
All right.
Today my name is Ola Dolupo. Take it like that.
Congratulations on your new discoveries. All right, it's the Boom Bar, like she said, and of course, for those of you that do not understand, what is it? It's drinks. Yes, most times alcoholic, at times just water, and everything else, that a bar should have. Because and people will be like, why are you drinking at 3 p.m. Nigerian time? I said, well, we're drinking
7 p.m. somewhere else.
Yeah, on the people who 7 p.m. Just check, you will see it. In Japan, it's probably tomorrow itself. Australia is way ahead of us and all of that. So a whole lot of stuff is happening, and we're going to be talking about that both globally and locally. And we have a long list of things to take a look at.
Oh, yeah.
I hope we'll have time to even go through everything. There's quite a list, yeah? But usually we like to do a recap of sporting events or results.
Results, yeah.
And it's amazing how another club legend has fallen. And talking about Ronald Koeman. Being fired by Barcelona after losing to Rayo Vallecano. And other poor results. He lost the El Clasico
he lost the El Clasico at the weekend at home, and then it had to be. And this is the first time. In fact, this morning I had to go and search for how that name was pronounced, because I never heard of the club before.
Rayo.
Never Rayo Vallecano.
They've been around for a while.
Never heard of them before.
Well, you're being honest, so that's fine.
And I'm like, seriously, is Barcelona like this? Like, is it really?
Is it that bad? Yes, it is that bad.
Is it that bad? So please, you might not like what I'm about to say next, but Arsenal, see your mate.
Well, whatever.
Take a cue.
Whatever applies
Take a cue
to Arsenal now applies to a lot of clubs.
Manchester United.
I won't name names.
Take a cue. You get the gist.
So
that's your mate.
Exactly. So I want to target Koeman fired, Xavi hired, and
Yeah, right now the gist is that Xavi has not been hired yet, but
Trust me, Xavi is the next coach of SC.
oh yeah, yes. As of today, there's an interim coach that has been there. Now we're waiting for official announcements. Nobody knows that yet, so maybe until then.
But can we be honest with ourselves?
Yeah.
How is Xavi better than Koeman?
I was going to say that I was expecting. I just didn't want to
Look, I
talk
know.
but I was going to say what is Xavi bringing to the table? I was expecting some very big name.
Xavi is a big name when it comes to playing.
Playing,
but
not coaching. Do you understand?
I was coaching somewhere.
I was actually hoping that there's like one of these known coaches, was going to be brought in. That was what I thought. So when I saw this one, I'm like, seriously? Seriously, this is all you can do?
Well, I don't know for them, and I really think that they might.
They
might be throwing out the baby with the bath water. Or it's a knee-jerk reaction. Okay, fine. You need a new coach. The old coach doesn't cut it anymore.
It's not working anymore.
But
very possible. Shouldn't you work and
better.
check? That's the question. And I think that with a team like Barcelona, they had put their whole team into the hands of a few people for a long time, that they didn't think that there was a problem.
Why are you sugarcoating? They put their hands into Messi's. They put their entire future into Messi's
It's
hands.
almost like they don't know how to play anymore without Messi in that team. It just went all the way. And I think that you can't blame them too. It actually happened to Real Madrid. Real Madrid is just, it's not like Real Madrid is perfect now. Real Madrid is finally just,
they're trying to get it together.
They're finally trying to get together. I don't blame Barcelona. It's going to take a while to get used to the fact that you don't have Messi in your team, you don't have Neymar in your team.
Then Ansu Fati was one for the future.
Now he has to step up
like immediately.
Immediately,
Ansu Fati,
which
Pedri,
and that's the thing. Who's helping him? He would
have been better mentored under Lionel Messi.
Yeah, definitely.
People forget that Messi played with some top guns.
Oh yeah, he
There's
was.
Some pictures where you
see him.
Messi was sitting on the floor, and Eto'o Fields and a couple of other big guys
they were there. So it wasn't like Messi was just thrown into the pitch. He too grew into it. He saw people play. There was the Ronaldinho. He was just there. They benched Messi for those people as well at a point. So I don't blame some of the players. I think that at the moment, I think Barcelona needs some players. They actually need some
I know
influx of players.
I know active players might not want to respond, but I would love to interview players who have been in this situation. Most times, you do find this happen all the time. It happens all the time. There's a team that has a certain set of players that have been recruited for the season.
Mm-hmm.
And things start to go down, south for them. The coach gets fired. Interim coach comes in, or new coach comes in. Boom, results. Same players. I would want to find out. There are a lot of factors.
Tactics.
There are a lot of factors involved. But I think most of these issues are mental. They're psychological. Apart from tactics, because tactics are very important.
Yeah, because it's what your coach asks you to play that you will play.
In one team that this happened, one of the players complained about the training, that the other coach was loading them with too much physical work and it was weighing them down. And of course, nobody could complain until the coach got fired. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side, I have a theory that might be wrong, that player power is very terrible and it comes to bear in these situations.
Yeah, we see a lot of those
things. At times, the players are just basically tired of you, and they know that they're not going to sack the entire team. At least not mid-season.
Yeah, so
but they can.
You're the one that can go.
Look at how Chelsea picked up after Lampard was sacked. Chelsea had recruited very well. They got good players last season.
And it was the same team. And then Tuchel came. And then they win the Champions League. And you're like you said, I think that at times, other than the fact that it's mental, some players just probably just don't want you anymore. So
And they start. I know it happened.
and they just
It
start
happened
to
with,
do whatever it is
It
they
also
want.
happened in Chelsea at some point.
Yeah,
where,
it did.
Where the players ganged up more or less. Of course, they ganged up against a coach that they felt was too young.
Yeah,
to be-
happened in Manchester United as well.
Yeah.
It was
When Mourinho was sacked,
Mourinho was
I felt
yeah.
it was player power.
It was more like what the players wanted. Even in Barcelona, we saw that at a point it was rumored that Lionel Messi was one that was calling the shots.
with different coaches
With
coming
different
and going
coaches
and all,
are coming and going. So yeah, and the truth is, yes, I think that with the management, they feel that these are the people that actually bring the money. So their opinion also matters.
Which is another point. You're right, because the point I made was, can you sack all the players? You can't.
You can't.
Then again, you're right about them bringing in the
They are
money
the ones
because
that bring in the
they're
money.
gonna run
Is
around
their
for
names?
96
Is their
million.
names that you're going to put
On the
for
brand.
merchandise? Is their names that people want to buy tickets to come and watch? Nobody
Yeah.
wants to see the coach.
You have a very valid point
So
there.
you also will not blame those management too if they actually put the players into consideration. At times, it's almost like the players are holding them to ransom. But it is what it is.
Player power, right?
It is what it
so,
is.
So Koeman gets the sack, and of course Xavi is definitely the next coach of Barcelona. But is he the answer? Well, we'll soon find out.
We'll definitely will soon find
And
out.
another 5-0 for another big team by a team that you didn't expect to do it. Bayern Munchen.
Bayern Munchen, it was
Bayern.
it was
5-0.
a lot of people got bitten
Borussia
yesterday.
Mönchengladbach. As in, are you kidding me
I
right
don't even
now?
know how to pronounce
It's-
that thing
It's Mönchengladbach. It's
because I'm like,
it's Bayern.
that's the point. Like I didn't
Bayern.
even know. Like
How?
okay, how are we here?
How?
Like, why? No, I think that a lot of teams are not. Some teams don't put a lot. Some teams don't really care about the Carabao Cup.
Okay.
no,
That's in England.
That's in England,
DFB
and then
Pokal.
I think that those other cups.
Do you think that was it?
Take Manchester City for example.
You think they didn't care? This is the first time that they're crashing out at this stage in the last 5 years. If you think they didn't care, City has in the last 10 years, City had taken this cup so serious that some of their coaches, this is the first piece of silverware that they present. I don't think that they didn't care. I just feel that they made their match. They couldn't take out West Ham in 90. This is the same team. Remember, the same
Yeah,
team that knocked out Man United.
And that's what I'm saying. That it looks like as if they. Okay, so
Okay.
what's the problem? Because if I don't know
Football
why
happened.
that happens. You take for example, Arsenal. Arsenal is even a perfect example of that. They get to Premier League, same set of people. They're playing nonsense, like absolute nonsense. You put them in maybe FA Cup or Carabao Cup, and they're beating everybody. And like, what exactly is wrong with you people?
Okay, we must understand that playing in the league and playing in cup competitions are two different ball games.
How?
entirely. Now, again, realize that coaches use this as an opportunity to rotate their team. When you look at the importance of your next league game, the league has always been the priority for everybody.
Yeah.
So you wonder why some coaches will rest players because
Oh yeah, I get
that's
your
what
point.
again,
So
players,
to me,
they're players
my
who- the
what's
reason
it
why
called
these
is
competitions were
valid
created
that
is-
Manchester City don't care.
if you say they don't care, it's the same system that they use and they won last season and they're always winning. I feel that they care, but they got beaten by a better team. Simple. A team that was more determined. The same team defeated Manchester United. The same team.
Excuse you.
And of 8
Please,
teams now-
excuse me. I'm not a Manchester City fan, but I think that it is rude to bunch Manchester United and Manchester City in the same sentence.
Why would you say that? Educate me.
Everything.
What is everything? Is Man City a bigger team than Man United?
Yes.
What is your parameter for measuring which team is big and which is not? Man United is miles apart from Man City, regardless of their current situation. You will never.
Exactly my
if
point.
you understand
according
football,
to the
you will
current,
never make this kind of statement
let's not
live
talk
on
about
air.
past glory.
There's
We're
nothing
talking
like past
about.
glory. We're talking about the brand. And you cannot,
It's not about the
you
brand.
cannot-
It's about the football they play.
No.
Manchester
You
United
did not
plays
say that.
nonsense football
You
at the
did
moment.
not say that. What you said.
Of course, you know it's the football I was
No.
talking about.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not
what-
in your head.
what do you
I'm not
think
in your
I
head.
would have been talking about?
I asked you a very, very clear question, and you gave me a clear answer. And I asked you, what makes you think that Man City is bigger than Man United?
The football they play.
You didn't say that.
Okay, now I'm saying it. The football they
The
play.
football they played.
Yes.
I beg to differ. I
Oh,
beg
that
to differ.
Manchester United plays better football than Manchester City.
Yes. When
They
when
do?
you take the entire brand into cognizance, but you see people like you.
What do you mean
You-
by
you-
the
you-
entire
you
brand?
push-
the
you push
same
an
team
agenda.
that got beaten 5-0.
Oh, that same team has beaten that other team more than that. Oh, but now you're going back to talk about that, but I can't go
I'm
back to talk
talking
about it.
we're talking about the, current
team,
situation.
The same team.
Are you
that
saying
had a
that
banner
the
for this
same
Man City
team-
that you're talking about? That had a banner year in year out. That Man City had not won anything since the 70s.
I agree with
and you're
you.
here now telling me
I
that
agree
Man
with
City
you.
is bigger
Are
than
you
Man
are you
United.
telling
And
me as of
of
20
my 5
this
years or
league
2 years
table?
of watching football, I'm supposed to just look at you and
So
clap for
are
you
you
and say,
saying that this current table now, Manchester United looks
yes, a
like
league table at a given time does not determine the situation of a club? When the season started, Arsenal was on 0 points after 3 games. Don't
They're
ever
still not
use that.
wonderful
Don't
still.
ever
They're still not
use the
wonderful.
current situation.
they're still
They
not
have the same
wonderful.
number of points with Man United.
So
Same number of points.
they're both not wonderful. That's the truth.
Okay.
So they're both
other
not
teams-
wonderful.
The other teams that have points with them too are both not wonderful. Are all
Wait,
not
it's
wonderful.
understandable.
I like the subjective way.
No, it's very
I like
understandable.
your subjective
if
way of
some
looking at
teams,
things. I
you
like
you cannot claim to be a big team, and you are in 10th position.
So you saying that Arsenal and Man United are not big teams?
As of today, no,
Wow.
nope.
Thank God the world does not think like you, though.
Very possible. My opinion.
It's your opinion. Thank
Yup.
God the world does not think
Yup.
like you. The
I
fact-
still go back to my conversation of the fact that
Liverpool,
as of today,
Liverpool,
you should
Liverpool
not bunch
was the
Manchester-
biggest team in England in the whole UK at a given time, at a given period.
Yeah.
In the late 70s and early 80s,
Yeah.
they were so big. They won the Champions League and all of that. They were that big. Then the Premier League started.
Yeah, they
and
never won it. Yeah.
But guess what? Nobody in their right senses will come and say Liverpool is a small team. And they never won the Premier League until last 2 seasons
Two
ago.
seasons ago. I agree.
Nobody will do that. So for an Arsenal team that in the past 22, 23, 25 years has consistently won silverware, consistently played in the Champions League or in Europa, for a team like
This
that,
season they're not
you-
playing anything.
you come and
They're
say
not playing
that
anything.
Arsenal is small.
They're not playing
And you're an
any.
Arsenal fan.
They're not
So
playing
you think
European
because of that
football.
we'll give you a pass?
They're not playing European football this
I
season.
think you're wrong.
That shows
I think-
a lot of things.
I think you're being
They're not playing European
unkind.
football.
I think you're being unkind to the brands. These brands have achieved. When there is a dip,
See, this
in
is
form,
the problem. This is
when
the
there's a
problem.
dip in
I see
form-
with a lot of people. We're always living in past glory. At the moment,
So,
the
Man
present.
United and Arsenal are living in past.
Yes. Let's deal with the present.
Amazing.
You guys are not wonderful at the moment. And I think that it is this past glory that does not make people understand and
Yo.
get what exactly the problem is.
Your definition of past glory is very vague. But
Where in this,
I know you've done this for argumentative
as
purposes.
long as
I
this
understand.
season
I
is
understand what
concerned,
you're- I understand what you're
they're
trying to
not
achieve.
wonderful. They can start being wonderful tomorrow.
Look, if anybody in the world
But I honestly
will
don't
sit
think
down
that
and tell
under
me
Ole Gunnar
that Man City
Solskjaer
is
and
bigger
Mikel,
than Man United,
Yes,
then
they are.
I know what the person is trying to do.
In 2021, as of 2021, Manchester City is a bigger team than Manchester United.
So when do we begin to consider all the indices that makes Man United, and all the indices and the factors that make Man City? Why is it that you set the pace?
the bottom line
you set
is
the parameters and the yardstick.
bottom line of
And it has
this
to do
is
with current form.
football.
It has to
It's
do
the
with
current
current
form that we're dealing with. Is what we are seeing
But
at the moment.
football is beyond current form.
It's about
Football
football.
is the whole gamut, the whole
Everything
package.
from your the whole brand and everything all boils down to under football. Football is the main
but
thing.
Man United is richer. They're
That's
making
what
more
I'm saying.
money.
Every single thing.
Arsenal is making more
Bottom
money at the
line,
gates than
the
any
bottom
of those
line,
things.
the bottom line still remains is the football.
So why are the fans going to buy those season tickets?
I'm not, would I even as bad as Arsenal would I buy an Arsenal ticket? Yes, I would. But are they wonderful? No, they're not.
Well,
And that's the truth.
Well, like you said, your opinion matters.
What's the problem?
We have comments actually.
Oh, okay. Please go ahead.
We have comments with from Kule Faji Ibitayo Kule. He says, "I hear you, bro. More grease to your elbow and all of that."
Thank you.
Then we have a comment from Richard Akorom. Richard, I hope I got your name right. And he says, "How can someone talk about football game in your radio station?" What we will do is that we would send you a message. You can actually join the Football Guy show on Saturday.
Oh yeah, you can. You can.
can.
Actually, and you don't even have to come into the studio.
We'll let you know how
You can actually
you
join.
can be a part. Even now too, we'll let you know. But we'll definitely.
Yeah, we'll definitely let you
Send
know.
you
We
a
can. You
message.
can actually send that. We'll also let you know when and how you can join. You can even join the show.
Yes.
You can join the show. We can get your comments. You could call in. It's actually very easy. So moving on from that, as anyway, Manchester City got beaten yesterday. Got beaten. They actually got beaten yesterday, and I actually still feel
And they're
that
big-
a lot of those teams
So does
don't
the
care.
team that beat them, does that make them better and bigger than Man City?
No, like I said, I don't think that Manchester City really cared a lot about this game. I don't think so.
So they played with under 14 players.
They're not under 14 players. Well, of course, we know that it's not their first team. That's why people have first teams and second teams. And
You
third
do know that
teams.
any team that turns out is the first team.
You know what I'm talking about. It is not their first team. It is not their first team. Whether we agree to it or not, it's not. It wasn't their first team anyway. And my new team, I won't call it my new team, but a team that is actually making a lot of rounds, and I think that every team should be very wary of them, is Brentford. I don't see them as title contenders as Premier League, but in my dictionary, there are people you call spoilers. They're what the Wolves used to be before. Now we're not sure yet anymore. Everybody's just all over the place. What Wolves used to be is they never leave like the 6th, 7th, 8th in that. But then they play with big teams, and then that's when their issue comes. That if you're not careful, these people are beating you. And I think that's what Brentford is going to be.
A team, Man City team that has Walker, Stones, Fernandinho, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Mahrez, Sterling is not.
Okay, I thought we
A
had
top
moved
team.
on.
No, it's what we're
We
doing.
had moved on.
No. That's a weekend team. Gundogan, Riyad Mahrez, Raheem Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne, arguably the best midfielder in the world, in my books. Okay, your point is taken and is noted.
Okay.
Now I will move on.
All right. So, like I was saying before, Brentford decided to beat Stoke City as well.
Yeah, of course.
Again,
My money was always going to be on Brentford.
I think that Brentford is a team every single team in the Premier League needs to look out for. That team, that I won't call it that they're going to win Premier League. I don't think so. But in a few years, this was how Leicester took everybody by surprise, and then kaboom, it was too late for everybody else.
For real though. And we respect that they're doing, but of course they're not going to pull a Leicester on anybody.
No, this season I don't see them pulling
They're
a
not
Leicester
gonna
on
pull a
anybody.
Leicester on
No, I don't
anybody.
see them doing that.
And the slot for next season has already been taken by Newcastle, so they should go and queue up.
You never can say. You never
on
can
this
say.
on this one,
See,
I will bet with you.
see, Newcastle
I
can have
will bet
money.
with you
Excuse me, Newcastle can have money.
See,
Does not mean that
look,
players want to come.
Newcastle.
Who is the coach they want to bring?
Newcastle.
Who is the coach they want to bring?
The value of the owners of Newcastle, when you add all the Premier League teams together,
We get it.
It's times 10.
We get
and
it.
counting.
We get
But guess
it.
what? Next season, Newcastle.
I don't see Newcastle being in.
They are buying Messi. They'll buy Messi and Ronaldo and Neymar. You will see. You will see.
What's
what?
it called?
Kini.
Signed 2 years. Ronaldo signed 2 years.
They will buy his contract.
I think Messi signed 2 years as
Okay,
well.
so you don't understand how the football
I
works
get
anymore.
it. I get it. But financial fair play can make you buy.
Who
Okay,
told you?
they
It's
can't,
Newcastle
sha.
now. They have not spent
They
that kind of
can't,
money in
sha.
years.
They-
They will buy Messi. They will buy Ronaldo. They will buy Neymar. They will buy Mbappe. They will buy.
No, they can't
Um,
buy all 4.
Who told you?
They should
Is
buy
it your buying?
Mbappe,
Is it your money?
They should buy Messi. They should buy
Um,
Ronaldo. That's
They'll
enough.
buy Aubameyang.
How now?
They'll buy Van Dijk. They'll buy.
He'll buy
What?
De Bruyne. with
De
that.
Bruyne.
Harry Kane.
You don't even know.
Everybody.
They will buy 11 forward players. No defender, no goalkeeper. Look at you. You don't know. Newcastle.
Oh my God!
The kind of money that they have.
I would like to see what they want
Yeah.
to do. At least
You
this
get more.
this
According to my good brother, he will say, "Oh, Meme, you don't know Meme."
this January window. I want to see what they want to do. Of course, they won't be able to do a lot.
You know, they
this
let the
window.
coach go that early, and I was like, okay, announce a big name.
Do you understand? I'm like, okay, I thought like somebody was coming in and we didn't even hear anything. But that's why I'm like, I'm still skeptical because there's money. Yes, nobody's doubting the fact that there's money, but will you use that money well? That's the question. And it also takes a while for players to gel.
Not with Newcastle. The
The
kind
money
of money
will
they
gel.
have.
The
money
money
will
will
make
gel all of you.
You will gel. You will gel.
Everybody will gel all of you together. It's
Gel,
very
oh.
very interesting. Yeah, let's start through penalties as well. Let's go into the quarterfinals of what's it called now? Was on quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup as well. So big ups to them. It's not an easy thing at the moment. So I think we should. Oh God, we actually spent a lot of time on football.
Well, it's a bar.
A lot of time. So now.
Now that boy.
Today is not Saturday.
The blood is boiling.
Today is not Friday here. But there's music that popped up today. There's a lot of music actually. Like Buju. Remember? Buju. Para. Just wanted to, that Buju. Even though that's not his song though. But it's like his own version is just suddenly all over the place.
Yeah. Okay.
Buju.
That's from
Para.
his cover
Buju,
of
Buju.
Fireboys.
Fireboys.
Peru.
Buju.
And
Para.
I just found out that Malik Berry also has a Peru cover.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I like to listen to
I
it.
just found out today.
Oh.
Definitely gonna.
I think that Peru, whoever produced it, and Fireboy did amazing. And I told you that I saw someone that doesn't believe that Wande Coal was not on that song.
Yeah, I kept on saying it too. Like
it's amazing.
there's
amazing.
a song on Fireboy's last EP that features Wande, and he says Fireboy and Wande, not featuring. It says Fireboy and Wande, and you listen to the song, you're like, oh yeah, that's Wande, and listening to
Next
Peru,
minute.
you're like, there's a Wande
There's
song.
I think that it's possible that
But
maybe
it's not.
one day did not
It wasn't.
he didn't feature any. I won't be surprised if
But Wande
Wande-
should-
it's very possible he could have actually been on that song.
If I
You know,
could-
right?
Yeah, but it wasn't. But it's very possible.
It's very possible.
I
and
don't
they-
like.
no,
talking
you need
about
to
stuff that I
listen
don't
to
know.
I think it's like from the second verse.
I'm loose.
No.
you know those kind of-
There's
those
it's
kind
a
of
it's
keys,
a one day thing.
The kind
It's
of
a
notes,
one day
the
thing.
kind of notes that one day has made his own,
Do you understand?
but which also shows you how amazing Fireboy
Fireboy
is.
too can be.
It shows
Yeah,
you that
I agree.
Fireboy is on fire. And there's one thing about him and Joe Boy. Whenever they're on a song, they just have the way, and they have this tag team that I don't get. This one drops Baby, that one drops his own. It's always like side by side.
Yeah, I think they're doing
So,
amazing.
Peru and Alcohol are like,
Yeah.
Then again, the feature with Ladipo running.
Running, yeah, that song is really nice.
Look,
That song is nice.
I want to say it here.
I think that really young people are doing
Nigerian
Nigeria
music
amazing.
They're
Doing amazing.
Amazing.
But for
And
me, the king of hooks at the moment is still Buju. Right now,
and he has moved a
that
step further.
was a Wande. Like everybody knew that once Wande is on your song, it just hits it. For me, the person doing that now is Buju, and he has released a 7-track EP called "Sorry I'm Late." I've not listened, but that's something I'm actually looking forward to listening to. Like he's done amazing with himself, done amazing. And before I leave that angle, Wande himself actually dropped a new song.
Yeah, he has an Amapiano. Everybody's doing Amapiano now.
Yes.
And of course, one day can do no wrong in my own books though.
Yeah.
Whenever I come to
I
music,
think it's amazing. Please, if Wande Coal is listening or hearing, please, we'd like to ask. There was a conversation with you and T-Pain. What happened now?
we're waiting.
We're waiting. Like, we're actually waiting. Seriously waiting. Please, don't let us be wasting too much time on something.
Yes, now.
Thank you very much.
And you now be apologizing like
From
Buju.
yours, Abby.
Sorry, I'm late.
Sorry, I'm late. You can send it down so that you don't be late. Thank you very much.
But
we'll be here.
There's a beautiful thing that's happening with Nigerian music. Okukur is dropping an album in a few days' time.
Yeah.
And he dropped a single with Victoni about 2 days ago, barely 2 days ago. And those two songs, his own and Buju's, they're like, neck to neck. They're doing well on the streaming platforms. And I saw Buju tweet, an image of Okukur's song and his own song. I love the camaraderie, the support, and the love that is being, shown by Nigerian artists. They're looking out for each other. They're pushing each other.
It's interesting.
Our numbers are pushing them too. Like, we have that population, both home and abroad, and they're streaming. And again, it has not gone beyond Nigerians. You notice how a lot of people are dropping covers and streaming and even analyzing Nigerian
music. Nigerian music is doing amazing. It's something it's undeniable. It's all over the place. There's nothing we really can do about it. So I think we should move away from that. Yeah.
Why?
And let's talk about this Nigeria's eNaira. There's a lot of news. First things first. Yesterday, it was noticed that the eNaira app, the one on the speed wallet, not the speed merchant wallet, the speed wallet, which is for individuals, was removed from the Play Store. And a lot of people were saying that people downloaded it and they were giving really bad reviews, and that was why Google removed it. Now, there's also what's it called now? There's a statement from the spokesperson of CBN that said that the removal was to upgrade the app's functionalities. I have a question. Do you have to remove an app to upgrade it? I get it. It's very possible. But do you need to remove the app to upgrade it?
I don't think so. I know that we all have been using apps for so many years now. And most apps would send you a notification, or at times once you're just connected to Wi-Fi, depending on the settings on your phone,
it just upgrades.
The upgrade will happen.
Exactly.
I think the CBN might not be telling us the complete truth.
Yeah, they're saying.
My opinion.
A lot of people. Well, I read a report where a lot of people were saying that the problem was why people were putting bad reviews was that the registration process was really long.
That's one.
So it wasn't really
again,
very user friendly.
There was a clause that people played up, and let's be honest with ourselves today. Like, we are honest all the time though, but let's be honest with ourselves. Not everybody reads the terms and conditions when you're downloading apps.
I don't. Sorry, we actually have a lot of comments. So okay. All right. So, Soli Wadeyemo. Good afternoon. Says Newcastle project won't kick off until next summer. I agree with you. And that next summer matter. They probably will not even have cohesion yet. So I don't see Newcastle being a title contender until about 2-3 years from now.
Never. We're winning the league. in the first season.
Okay, so like he also said that there's little they can do to improve the squad quality during the winter. Yes, I agree with you.
Summer, don't worry.
Well,
Summer.
the summer is looking more like it, but even with that, is one thing we've seen it happen not once or twice. It's one thing to have wonderful players. It's another thing to have for them to have cohesion.
There will
It's
be
another
cohesion.
thing
Oh my God.
for the coach to be able to use those players
We don't even need
to
coach.
his advantage.
We don't even need coach.
Seriously.
The kind of players we are buying for Newcastle.
Seriously.
Notice I'm using we. We don't need coach.
Who are the we? What's your
We
own?
now, Newcastle, baby.
You are suddenly that Newcastle.
Look at you see my cap. Newcastle.
I give up. Like I just give up. So basically, I think that I personally don't see Newcastle doing. No, of course we'll see some flashes from next season, yeah. But I don't see them being title contenders. It's not in 2-3 years. But anyway, they can pull a Leicester on everybody. You never can say. We never know. But okay, so what was I talking about? The eNaira, yeah.
eNaira and CBN's explanation.
And CBN's explanation is not making too much sense. But okay, yeah, you were about to say something. Don't let me.
No, it's
cut
fine.
you off.
You know,
Light off. No, you were
you're the
you were
anchor,
going to
so-
say something that was.
I was saying that the explanation by the CBN is vague and kind of funny.
Yeah, it is.
But I also wanted to say that let's put the CBN's explanation aside. We are at a place where everybody feels that anything that this government comes up with is bad.
I agree.
And
I agree.
we will do whatever it takes to bring it down.
To bring it down.
And that's your opinion. You're
And
entitled
I
to
have
it.
I have a question about it. We
Alright.
complain about this thing is bad in Nigeria, that thing is bad. Is it that you really want? Do you actually hope for it to change, or you just want to keep complaining?
Good question. I will try to answer that question, even if it wasn't meant for me. Someone tweeted about the cost of insulin in America. He says, "Oh, you want to jackwa." I think the guy was a doctor or something, or someone that worked in the medical field, and the tweet went viral. That how much is insulin in Nigeria as compared to the cost of insulin in America? It's almost like 1 million times more.
Yeah.
1 million is an exaggeration for me. Just
No,
jocularly-
let's even say
jocularly.
the price of fuel.
Sure you get
The price
so
of fuel.
There are a lot of things that we need to
Let's
consider.
take it.
But that doesn't mean that you should not. If you feel like relocating, please go ahead. Do it legally. Don't do it the funny way. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's a Christian saying that as it was in the beginning, it's now and ever shall be.
Where people, it's
People have been
migrating and relocating,
immigrating or migrating
immigrating.
since the beginning of time.
Yeah, and
So it's
it'll
not a
come.
new
It's not a new thing. I agree.
It's not a new thing. David Alaba, who plays for Madrid at the moment, used to play for Bayern Munich, is Austrian, has a Nigerian parentage or heritage. You know, his father immigrated like God knows when. That's why he's that old. You get, and there are younger players coming up too. So there's so many of them. We cannot count them on our fingers. Now there's a new wave of Nigerians who have moved to Canada and other places. In the next 10, 15, 18 years, their children too will start doing well. The Nigerian female basketball team is populated by players based abroad.
Okay. February versus says Pastor SR.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know?
Okay.
So, basically, what I'm trying to say is that there will always be a need for people to immigrate. Or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
It's not a crime.
It's not.
But we don't have to knock everything. that this
Everything.
government does.
That's it. That's it.
Knock it when it's
Let's
bad.
be. Let's
praise
be.
it when it's
Yeah,
good.
I think that we're always not being objective.
Objectivity
We seem to
is-
like to hate things.
is
We enjoy hating.
is an ingredient
some
that some people will probably
yeah,
never be able to
I think
afford.
that we love to hate something.
So the question I
That's the
wanted to
problem.
ask, and I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
And I'm glad that there's Solu and Femi and a couple of people watching us. And if you're, please don't worry, you can actually leave us a comment. We'll read it on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm going to start with Dolupo.
Okay.
Of all the apps that you have downloaded, how many have you honestly or truthfully read the terms and conditions before scrolling down to the bottom to say accept?
None.
None.
Like.
Solu, Femi,
None
everybody
actually.
out there.
When you think about
I'm
it,
asking you guys
yeah,
now.
none.
How
I'm not
many
sure I've
apps have
actually
you
ever read
downloaded
it.
that
Nope,
you go
nope.
and you read terms and conditions? So guess what? One of those cab hailing services. When I relocated back to Lagos from Ibadan, and of course I had a little bit of transport issues before I bought a car, I actually downloaded the app. But that morning when I went out for a walk, I was listening to radio, foreign radio on my phone, on the internet, and they were talking about information being stolen. Coincidentally, that same morning I downloaded the app. Before that time, I would call people to say, help me hail a cab, help me hail a cab. So I downloaded the app, like, let me stop disturbing people. And I read the terms and conditions. And they wrote it there that they do not owe you any explanation as to what they do with your data. And, everybody...
But it's probably the same thing in a lot of those apps.
You're not
across
going to
the
let me
board.
make my point. I'm trying to really make a pertinent point here. This is the real crux of the matter. Everybody I know has these apps on their phones. Mm-hmm. They're saying that they don't owe you any explanation, they don't do whatever, but you have downloaded those apps and you are using it. You're using those cabs. I won't mention their names because they are brands that are employing people and everything, but if you have time, go and read for any of the major cab hailing services.
Okay, so we have a comment from Femi Adefeso. Says, I have read it halfway, Sha. It's too plenty.
Boom.
I agree with you.
I like
it's
your honesty.
actually a lot. So,
I like
seriously.
this honesty.
I just
like your
scroll
honesty.
to agree. Let's just move on.
Everybody scrolls down and agrees. You're opening your new email, you scroll down, you agree. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is what has happened. People have now taken their time to read the CBN app. The
Okay, so
eNaira
what
app.
was the
And there's a particular part there that says that based on mistakes that might accrue from this app or from typographical errors or whatever, that they are not liable to whatever happens. So a few websites and blogs have now picked on that and made it a major story. And I make bold to ask all those people.
And
They have apps too. If you scroll down to
are
their
you
own app,
liable for it?
the Twitter that you are using,
Nobody's liable for
the
anything.
Facebook that you are using, all of those brands, have you really read the terms and
conditions, yeah.
Be honest with yourself. So, I know that we have the numbers.
I think we love to hate Nigeria.
Yeah, we have the numbers and we can use it whatever way. But if you like, destroy your country. If you like, build it up. If you like Jakpa or Ja, like we used to call it, whatever happens, the results will be glaring and it will affect you and me one way or the other. Except you're able to remove your entire generation from Nigeria. You are still tied to this country one way or the other. None of you people will make money abroad and not come and spend it here. You will come back here to spend it. So for me, I like the idea of the eNaira. This is me giving a free endorsement to it. I've read a lot about it. This morning I was watching videos of experts breaking it down and analyzing. For instance, you know that the eNaira will allow you spend less when you are transferring money to people, clients or family or friends or folk.
Okay.
Because it's eNaira to eNaira, you spend the cost is less. The cost of when we transfer money to ourselves, we're paying a certain amount.
There's a certain
and the volume determines. Now with eNaira is lower. 2, with the eNaira, okay. This expert was saying something, so and I'm going to ask you. The Naira notes.
Yeah.
What was it? How much was the denomination? The last denomination you held?
50 naira.
50 naira.
Yes, I still held.
But there's still the 5 naira notes.
Yes.
There's the 10 naira note. There's the 20 naira
I'm
note.
not seeing those notes in a while.
Then at some point CBN knew that those notes were not working because it was more expensive to print
polymer.
It was more expensive. So imagine that for years the value of the money is not commensurate with the cost of production. Let me break it down.
I get what you're saying.
So
the cost to produce a 5 naira note is more than the value of the money of 5 naira in itself.
But the government must pay because they want you to be able to spend your 5 naira or your 8 naira or your 2 naira.
So instead of producing anything, it's just an app. So
it's an app.
It reduces.
They're not printing.
It reduces the cost of production of notes because they are not going to produce as much.
So
we don't need as much notes anymore.
Imagine that in 10 years time, in 5 years time, when
Yeah,
they're
so
not printing
that's
physical
money,
naira.
that's more money, less money for that and more money for something else.
Thank you. So, all the while that we've been spending naira, we've probably been spending more than the value
Than
of
the
what
value
we're using.
of what we're using.
That's one. Another thing that we need to consider is how the lack of change has caused the increment in the unit cost of items. If an item is 24 naira,
Okay, so Femi Adefasa says quite an intellectual discourse. Thanks for sharing, SR.
Thanks,
Please
boss.
go ahead.
so if an item, you walk into a store and an item is 24 naira, and you say, okay, I want one of these items, just this one, they will tell you, please take sweet. Or
Yeah.
we will owe you 4
Yeah,
naira.
that's why transfers and all people prefer those things
Do you
because
get?
we don't.
So they'll tell you we will owe you, Abi.
Yeah.
But with your eNaira, you can pay the exact 24 naira.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just a way of you being able to spend your money or save your money, without really getting involved with the encumbrances of using coins, and it's the same value. It's not a crypto. You cannot invest in it. It is not going to appreciate or depreciate.
Okay, I think that one everybody needs to
It's
do.
not a
because
crypto.
I saw it on
Yes,
Twitter.
it is
and a lot of people-
blockchain.
It's blockchain,
But not
I think
every-
the breakdown is that people don't even understand what blockchain is.
We need to break it down. We're not experts, but we'll tell you this and you can fault it. Every crypto is digital currency.
Yeah.
But not every digital
So
currency is crypto.
Yes, I think that's the easiest way to look at it.
So you cannot say that, they stopped crypto because they wanted to create their own.
No.
They have been working on this for 4 years. The CBN have been working on the eNaira for 4 years.
I think that
Sadly,
it's sad.
sadly, for the ECBN, sadly, after working on something for 4 years, this is not the kind of things that should be happening.
that should be happening. You should, especially when you even postponed it from October 1. We thought that by the time it was coming back, it was going to be. Now it looks like Google is the one that has the issue because they're saying the reports that it's still on Apple's Play Store and is fine, and even the Speed merchant wallet is also fine. That
It's
it looks
largely, let me tell you, this is my take, and CBN can fault me. I actually want them to call me out. I think that they're just basically trying to cover up what has gone wrong, because a lot of Nigerians, they did it to the Nigerian guy who wanted to create his own version of Twitter. So what they basically did was they gave it bad reviews.
so that
the
Google
more bad
can-
reviews it gets on Play Store,
the number
Google will be forced to pull it down.
pull it down.
And I think that's what has happened.
And I think that we need to do better. We need to do better. We can't continue like this. Your honesty can't fault everything. We shouldn't really fault everything. Now, before we move off the eNaira, the central bank has now warned Nigerians against conversing. There is a Twitter handle called eNaira CBDC, stating that the CBN is giving 50 billion eNaira currency to individuals. I think that, I don't want to sound rude, but let's be using our common sense. How? We know that Twitter is supposedly banned in Nigeria, yeah?
It's not banned.
And
Twitter is
that's,
not banned.
I'm trying to, for a better
But
use
move
of
on,
word.
yeah? I get what you're saying.
Its services are not, it's actually blocked. You literally can't use Twitter without a VPN, yeah? And we know that government parastatals, they do not, a lot of people are shut down their Twitter accounts. If they're not shut it down, they don't use them.
Yeah.
So,
They're more active
for
on Facebook
a
now.
CBN
Yeah.
that we know that is a major federal government company to have a functional Twitter account,
It's contradictory.
don't you think is not a little smart? And you feel that that alone you should know that something is up somewhere.
Let me weigh in here. So some of us are nocturnals, and of course,
Okay. So Femi Adefeso says, Wait, CBN is active on Twitter. Is Buhari aware?
No, they're not actually.
They're not.
They're not.
I'm sure that he's actually joking. Like,
I know.
we
It's
get it.
sarcasm.
It's sarcasm. It's like
You know my friend now, sarcasm.
Like, are you kidding? Are you actually kidding? And you will believe that kind of a Twitter handle?
So the thing is, oh, you guys are throwing me off, but I'm trying to find my way back. What I was trying to say in essence is that I was up around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and I was on Twitter, and I saw a celebrity, singer, actress, former Big Brother. No, was she in Big Brother? Yeah, she was in Big Brother. Yeah.
Who?
I'll tell you her name. She's my person, so I'll tell you her name off air. She poking fun at the so-called eNaira Twitter handle, and someone said, "Oh, that handle had been promoting cryptos." And I said to myself, if only you're smart enough, all you have to do is copy that handle and paste it in your Google, and you will find out so many things. You get. We are
it's just even common
always
sense.
looking for
Like,
negative news and bad news, and that's what's messing us
but
up.
even if
So-
that's what you're looking for, use it with common sense.
So what I'm trying to say in essence is that look at the way you presented it. Everybody knows that no federal government parastatal is on Twitter.
It's on Twitter
at the moment.
So why is eNaira
they are-
telling you?
They have not deleted their handles because they know they are coming back soon. But you cannot believe anything you see because they will not tweet anything.
They won't.
They already have their memos. They've been giving memos. They don't. In fact, that's why a lot of non-government people are also not tweeting because they don't want to be on the wrong side of government. Do you get what I'm saying? I looked at it. I wanted to explain to this person on Twitter. I wanted to send a DM or Twitter. I said no, that you need to check it out. That CBN would not be on Twitter at a time like this. But the instant you do that, you are labeled.
You're labeled.
Oh, it's BMC.
It's very sad. It's very, very sad.
I'm just saying that you can learn more if you're objective. So, people are now following a certain Twitter handle that one of those young Nigerians actually changed the handle for. Remember the fraudulent Instagram handle that we were discussing the other time? Now, if you go to Instagram will show you how many times any brand or any handle has changed its name.
Yeah.
And this person has scammed a couple of people selling slippers at a very affordable price. Then, when they start to call out the person, she or he changes the Instagram handle and moves on to scamming people again. So all I did was do an Instagram search, and I checked, and I saw that handle had changed its name 5 times in 2 years. 5 times. That's what has happened with this eNaira handle that people are now ascribing to the CBN. It has nothing to do with
nothing to do with the CBN.
Absolutely
please.
nothing.
Even if we're going to criticize stuff, let's be sure what we're criticizing at the end of the day. And moving on from that, now it looks like it is season of returning things. Looks like the Benin Kingdom is in the mood as struck gold as a lot. We reported yesterday that the Jesus College of Cambridge had returned a cockerel.
Okukur. That's the name.
Yeah. And today, the University of Aberdeen is to return a statue which was looted in the 1800s. This is the culture that depicts the Oba, the Benin head. The Oba's head of the Benin Kingdom.
Yeah.
Actually, that is one. And also, France today is to return. The president actually was at the French president was at the event where they returned 26 items known as the Abome treasures.
Imagine having to do this after your forefathers had gone to Africa and looted and stolen. It's a changing world. Who would have thought that there would be a day where things that were stolen
would
from
actually
Africa would
be returned? I
The-
think
the-
it's
the-
wonderful. I
There
think
was a
it is
time when
amazing.
the late MKO Abiola was pushing for reparations. He was fighting and he was saying that Africa,
We should get paid.
Yeah, I think that discussion will come. Now that these stolen Benin bronzes are being returned, now that we're getting to a point where people are realizing that these things that we've kept don't belong to us, let's give it back to the owners. One day, maybe just one day, we'll have the discussion about reparation.
I think we should.
Maybe because, you look at, there was a story that I wanted us to discuss yesterday, and maybe I can chip it in now that we're talking about reparations and the returning of the Benin bronzes to the Benin Kingdom in Nigeria from the UK and now from France, and we're expecting some from Germany very soon.
Yeah, it's very good news.
There is a
very
popular brand, if you are into drinks, if you like your drink a lot, the Johnny Walker drink, Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
And apparently the original brewer, the person who came up with the recipe, was a slave from West Africa, and the whole world knows the brand or the name that's around it, but nobody knows the person who actually created, the taste and the smoothness of that whiskey or bourbon that everybody likes. One day, the truth will continue to be brought to the fore, or will be brought to fore. So that's why I am celebrating the returning of the Benin bronzes. I'm happy that this is happening in our own lifetime, and I'm hoping that maybe Africa will get more. But of course, we know we're plagued with bad leaders and all sorts of.
I just hope that these things,
that it doesn't get into the wrong hands.
Even by the time these things are being returned, they're actually treated as good things. They're
I was
treated
shocked.
so well.
Talking about treating them, Dolupo, you saw the pictures. I was shocked when I saw people handling the Okukur that was returned from the Jesus college yesterday. I'm thinking like something that expensive and that valuable shouldn't be handled.
And then I was out, they were not wearing gloves.
They probably are putting in a glass box or something.
Learn from these people. As old as these things were, these people have kept
them.
They preserve them. So we don't want to come back 100 years after and then these things are just, and they're like, what's the point of giving it back to you?
Maybe they should have left it with the colonizers.
That's the thing. It's a very, we hope that they're done properly. And now moving on from that, we know that the story that came out today from the Plateau State, that the speaker was impeached. They claim that there was some money issues, that he claimed that a car less than 100 million naira, that he bought it for about 300 million.
So there was violence in.
There was violence. There was
in the Plateau State House of
Assembly.
There are videos online.
They're claiming that about 8 people. But I saw another story where they said it was 18 people voted for his impeachment. Another one that it was 8. We don't even know which one.
When
now.
the dust settles, we'll
definitely find out the story. Now, before we go, IPOB, the Indigenous People of Biafra, has now come out to say that they have in no place threatened that there will not be elections, that there's going to be, they're announcing sit at home from November 5th, but that they did not say that there should not be elections.
When are the elections?
November 6th.
But your sit at home is from November 5th. The masters of double speak have spoken. What's the difference between the propaganda of the government and the propaganda of IPOB?
I think that the security apparatus that is moving to
Anambra. Did you hear about the NSCDC?
He's probably was making them. Yes, I did. About 20,000. So I think that's
Is it war? Is it war?
I don't think the civil war it was this bad.
The entire troops that have been deployed for the South African local elections is 10,000 plus. You can Google it.
Anambra State. Anyway, finally, before we go, we're going to the UK, where a UK teenager has been sentenced to 35 years in prison for killing his 2 sisters in a demonic sacrifice. Guess what the sacrifice is meant for?
What?
To enable him win the lottery. It's time to come and be good.
That's sad. That's really sad.
It's
I don't even want to comment on it.
it's amazing.
Let the law take its full course.
Oh, he's been sentenced already.
And on that note, we're out.
That's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the comments. We'll be back again tomorrow with another wonderful edition of The Bar. We hope that you enjoyed today. And on that note, it's peace.